Lakeysha Keysha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell, cause the tea don't stop. She don't miss nothing, got the scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Lakeysha Keysha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell, cause the tea don't stop. Hit that bell, cause the tea don't stop.
Hey guys, back for another video. Make sure you guys are hitting that button, the like button on the video. Wanted to jump back on here because I got some more information. I don't know if I had mentioned in my last video, but with regards to, finding out about Simon not paying the mortgages, somebody actually told me that. I don't know if y'all know, but they be watching YouTube all over in Nigeria and Africa and all other places, because that is how I receive the information about Simon not making the mortgage payments with regards to the property. Now, here is another caveat to that. Now, what I want y'all to understand is Simon is smart. Like, we got to give the man, it is what it is. The man is smart. Now, I know some people are going to be like, he a scammer. I don't know, but I'm just saying one thing, he is smart. So with him not making those mortgage payments, what it is going to cause to happen is the property is going to be foreclosed on. But I want y'all to understand, when you're dealing with a man that is smart, that knows how to maneuver the legal system, they generally always win. I'm not saying that, regular people are just dumb, but it just comes with doing things so many times. You kind of know how to maneuver the situation. Now, we know now that Simon is not making the mortgage payments because it said it in the court documents. He's not keeping the obligation. Can he pay it? Absolutely. Absolutely. He can afford to pay it. But he ain't. And guess what? Like I said before, I'm not mad at him. Now, what is going to happen? Let me just explain to y'all what's going to happen. I don't know how this ICE situation is going to work out. They have had this man in custody for quite some time. And frankly, if you guys are familiar with the ICE process, y'all know that some of those people have not even went to court, which could make for a very lengthy process. And then listen, I want y'all to kind of think about this in terms of making sense. If you were in jail, not even knowing when you're gonna get out, first of all, you want to make sure you're saving the money that you have for your legal defense. And for two, why do you care about paying for a house for some woman and her child to live in when you have your own children that's not even allowed in the house? So that's not even a negotiable. We know that Simon ain't paying for the house. So eventually, this is what's going to happen. The property will go into foreclosure. And if y'all not familiar with that, let me break it down for you. Foreclosure is a legal process where the lender takes ownership of the property because they didn't receive their money. That's pretty much how it works. Simon knows this, but quite naturally, I wouldn't care. And apparently he don't either, because, the word on the street is that, Porsha allegedly had him arrested. And if you guys really think about it, as I thought about it, I said, okay, I'm thinking, maybe she did it because then it will force things to go possibly in her direction. But again, Simon is not a dumb person, and he's going to utilize the judicial system to his advantage. And so far, although he's in ICE custody, our state judges don't really have anything to do with that, but they have given Simon multiple multiple times to be able to get himself to court. Although it hasn't happened for the last 2 times, they've actually ordered ICE to, like, hey, you got to bring this man to court. So things are really working out to his advantage. Now, Porsha don't want to face him. And y'all got to understand, Porsha not wanting to face him should tell y'all something. It's something that she know that she did, that she know that she shouldn't have, and she don't want that look of shame. She don't want to face him, okay? But what we need to understand is this is the information that I'm getting. First of all, if the house is going into foreclosure, let Simon get out and pay it, right? Exactly. We know that. But I just want y'all to understand, Simon, he set up, businessman, whatever it is he's doing, he has people that if this property goes into foreclosure, do y'all think he don't have somebody that can come buy it and get it back to him? And guess what? That is not illegal. That's not an illegal transaction. See, one thing that I've learned about people, when they have just a little bit or a lot of bit more money than you, they can just do more things. At this juncture, Porsha cannot afford to be in this house. The only reason that she's there is by total existence of this prenuptial agreement, which she's working the hell out of. But right now, by everything getting ready to finalize, Porsha's shaking in her boots because she don't know what to expect. But Simon ain't paying it. His plan is one of two things. House goes into foreclosure, he can very well have one of his partners go get the house and get it back if he wanted it. Two, he can let the property be gone and start all over. Now, I know some of y'all like, why would somebody mess up their credit? Listen, there has been times in life where I'm sure you done lost your job, or maybe you had a situation with money, or maybe you didn't, but these are normal situations. And I just don't understand why he would pay the mortgage, because by him not paying a mortgage, it's actually forcing her to have to leave. Because y'all got to understand, this man been paying the mortgage for over a year and 4 months, because she filed in February. He had to leave. We're going to be in the month of June. So he had to pay all of those months and not live there. At some point, you gonna get sick of it. But right now, we know that he is in ICE custody. With him being in ICE custody, they're saying, well, the court documents reveal that Simon has not kept up his obligation, which is crazy, though, that Porsha's attorney is arguing that Simon ain't paid and the man is in jail. I mean, he's in court custody. Not court custody, ICE custody. But isn't that so crazy that even with him being in ICE custody, Porsha attorney is like, he didn't make the payments? Like, absolutely not. So Simon plan is to let this property go. Now I believe it, because like I told y'all, somebody from Nigeria reached out to me, because I hadn't even thought about it with, regards to him not making the mortgage payments. I just kind of never even thought about it like that. But that is the exact plan. The exact plan is to let the property go. Now, if he decides to get it later, after it goes into foreclosure, he can do it, or he can fix his credit. I want y'all to understand, I used to actually help people fix their credit, but I really stopped because I really got tired of people, saying, let me, could you help me with my credit? And I'll say yes. Then I will help them and they will go get a car and all this dumb stuff and be back in the same situation. So I was just like, you know what? I'll show you how to do it. So if you just want to keep messing it up and fixing it, then it'll be on you. I just got tired of people saying, oh, well, I got this on my credit. And I'm like, yeah, because you got that and you didn't pay the bill. So people mess their credit up, and it's a way that it can be fixed. So the takeaway here is Simon's plan to get Porsha out of his house is simply what he has done. He's not making a mortgage payment, which is going to essentially cause a foreclosure because of the defaults in payment. Now, again, in legal documents, it says Simon ain't making the payments. Not only is Simon not making the payments, Porsha don't even know if she did find the money. She don't even know who the mortgage company is, which is crazy because it's public information. So it almost makes me think that her own attorney don't even like her, because the mortgage company is public information. So the fact that her lawyer says she don't know it is making me wonder, does Porsha lawyer even like her? Because it's very easy to find out who the mortgage company is. But with regards to foreclosures in Georgia, this is how it goes. In Georgia, foreclosure auctions are held on the first Tuesday of each month, depending on the county of where the property is located. So, in turn, this is not Simon saying, you know, I just don't want to pay it. It's a tactic. It's a tactic because he knows Porsha cannot afford it. She can't afford it. And why should he pay for it? I mean, if y'all think about this, even in this divorce situation between the two of them, Porsha has been very nasty. She could have very well divorced him and not be so nasty. But in divorcing him, she wanted, hey, I want him out. How is it that you want this man out of a house that he paid for when it's big enough that y'all can really go in separate quarters and don't see each other? Not only did you want him out, what about his children? Like, he has his own kiddos. But how crazy is that she doesn't give a damn about his children, like she didn't care about Cordell's son, but yet on television crying, telling us how her daughter PJ asked about Simon and Simon kept them on red. Is that a narcissist? What is that? So, does she think PJ, which is not even his biological child, for some reason means more than his own kids? Isn't that crazy? He said, I don't even have a residence for my children. And yet she's staying in my house. And my children have to be either scattered around or in a hotel, or I have to send them back with their mothers because I cannot possess a residence that I'm staying in. So he like, you know what? The joke's on you, ho. You want to play games with me? Let the games begin. And I really feel like this was a really foolish move for Porsha because you had the prenuptial. All you had to do was play fair. Now, Simon is about to do another Cordell Stewart. Now, if y'all remember Cordell Stewart, you remember Cordell put Porsha ass out, locked the door. She couldn't get in. Well, what Simon is doing is going to be just a tad bit similar, but very different because Porsha, the property gonna be foreclosed on, baby, and you gonna have to leave. And all of this is going to be public information. When all you had to do, if you felt like you wanted a divorce, you could have divorced them. The house is big enough. Y'all could have accessed the same property. You could have been there with your daughter. He could have been there with his kids. But to make it so nasty, especially when you depended on him to make the payments, first of all, you gonna put me out of my house and then want me to pay? Oh, okay. And y'all see how this is going down. Simon plan to get her out is to not pay this mortgage. Therefore, the foreclosure action is going to be like automatic because they're not going to wait too much longer.